Hello YouTube, this is the Dbtgamer Show, episode 135, part 2. Today I'm reviewing Metroid Prime 2 on the GameCube and on the Nintendo Wii. Now if you haven't watched part 1 yet, you've missed quite a lot. In part 1 I talked about story, graphics, controls, music and gameplay. I also talked a little bit about the trilogy disc. So if you haven't watched part 1 yet, go back and watch it so you can keep up with what I'm saying. Now I'm going to talk about the weapons and items that you can find in the game, because there are a lot of them, and a lot of them are rather useful. So let me just go to my inventory. Now throughout the game there are a lot of power-ups, as I said. You get several visors in the game. You get a dark visor, which lets you see things in the light world that are coming in from the dark world, which is quite useful. There are even points in the game where if you're trying to solve a puzzle in the light world, if you put the dark visor on, it helps you solve certain puzzles, so it's a really useful visor. It also lets you see invisible enemies as well. And one of my visors that's always been my favourites is back again from the previous game. The scan visor lets you scan enemies and objects so you can solve puzzles and figure out how to defeat certain enemies in the games. Hold on a second. So I really liked the scan visor. There are other visors in the game. The final visor you get in the game is a weird one. It's called the Echo Visor. Now the Echo Visor is a very strange visor, and out of all the visors, it is probably my least favourite, because it is almost impossible to see with this damn thing. You're basically seeing with sound, and it's a very weird feeling seeing with sound. Most time the Echo Visor is used to solve sound puzzles, and thank God that's all it's used for, because seeing with the damn thing is a pain in the arse. Anyway, next let's talk about beams. Throughout the game there are 4 different beams. You've got the standard power beam. Then your other 3 beams have ammo, which can be a bit of a pain because you have to keep track of all your ammo types. First you've got the light gun, which shoots beams of light at the enemy. The light gun is very useful for defeating the Ing. In a few shots you can vaporise them. The next gun you get is the dark beam. The dark beam is a rather strange gun, really. The dark gun is pretty much useless for defeating the Ing. But if you do a charge shot and shoot it at the enemy, you can actually freeze them for a little while so you can get a few shots in at them. So it is useful in that respect. The final beam that you get in the game is the Annihilator beam. And this is one of my favourite weapons in the game, and it is really good. But the problem with the Annihilator beam, it uses both types of ammo. Every time you fire the Annihilator beam, it costs 1 dark ammo and 1 light ammo. So when you're using the Annihilator beam, you've got to watch your ammo count carefully, because you can find yourself running out quickly. Other power-ups you get in the game, well, let me just find a better area to show these ones off, because these ones are the jump power-ups. You've got the standard jump, the double jump, and the screw attack. Now the screw attack has been in previous Metroid games. It was in Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo. And the screw attack in this game is pretty good. Although it's not as useful for killing enemies as it was in the 2D games, because it is very difficult to kill an enemy with the screw attack in this game, because you can't turn it very well, and it only really works in a straight line. So the screw attack's a good weapon for the 3D Metroid Prime games. but it's only really good for jumping across massive gaps. But it's still a good power-up, and it's really helpful. Other power-ups you get in the game. Well, you get... Oh yeah, Morph Ball. Your Morph Ball, you get a variety of power-ups. You got your bombs. Got one of my old favourites, the Boost Ball, which can be used to scale half pipes and stuff like that. And another one of my favourites, the Power Bomb, or as I like to call it, the Nuke. It's a really powerful bomb. It lets you blow up almost anything around you. I was fighting this giant robot. I turned it into Morph Ball and said, huh, power bombed its ass and blew it up in one shot. So I really liked the Morph Ball. Other power-ups in the game that I really liked using were the grapple beam. Really useful power, but lets you grapple onto certain things in the game and get to secret areas and stuff. A new power-up that I can't show you at the moment because I'm not in water is the gravity boost. Now in Metroid Prime 1 you had a gravity suit. Well, in this game you get what you call a gravity boost. Whilst you're in the water, if you press the jump button 3 times, this little water jet comes out of your backpack and boosts you towards the surface. And it really helps you get around the water. So that's a really good power-up I really liked. When you're in the Tarver's Bog, it really helps search you in that area because that area is full of water, sludge and slime and everything. So I really like the gravity boost. Another great power-up on this game were the missile combos. You've got the super missile. You've got a sunburst. You've got the awesome black hole. And finally, you have the sonic boom, which is the most powerful of all 4 of the missile combos. The missile combos themselves are very ammo draining. Let's say if you want to use the black hole, it costs 30 dark ammo plus 5 missiles. If you want to use the sunburst, it's 30 light ammo and 5 missiles. Now if you want to use the sonic boom, it costs 30 light ammo, 30 dark ammo and 5 missiles. So when you're using the missile combos, you have to be very careful where you aim your shots because you don't want to waste your ammo. So the missile combos are good, but you have to be careful with them because you don't want to waste your ammo. So I really like the missile combos in this game. What other weapons do you get in the game? Well, I think that's basically all the weapons you do. So now I'm going to talk about the suits. Throughout the game, you get 3 suits. The one you start off with is the variable suit. The variable suit is your standard suit, and when you walk around the dark world, you lose health quite rapidly. Then you get the dark suit, which is sort of like a black sort of colour, which lets you lose health at a slower rate in the dark world. And then finally, right at the end of the game, you get the light suit. The light suit lets you walk around the dark world without losing any health at all due to the atmosphere. So the light suit is definitely very useful. Anyway, YouTube, I've run out of time, so see you in part 3.